In this video, we are discussing about the analysis phase of cyclistic bike share analysis, which is a Google Data Analyst Capstone case study. In the analysis phase, I'm using SQL and I'm also using Microsoft SQL Server for this phase. So let's talk about that what we have to do in this analysis phase. In this analysis, member and casual users are one of the most important factors because all the analysis is being based around this member and the casual users. Our task is to analyze how member and casual users use cyclistic bike differently. So firstly, we can define that number of riders by member and casual user, like uh, how many users are member users and how many riders are member users and how many riders are casual users. And then we define rideable type by member and casual users, like which rideable type is most famous by casual user or which rideable type is most famous by member user. And thus we can define the mostly used star station by member user and casual user, like which station is mostly used by member users and casual users. And then we analyze the mostly and mostly used end station by member user and casual users. And lastly, we have time analysis. In the time analysis, we have starting time analysis and ending time analysis by member and casual users. In the time analysis, we have three most important factors: month, weekdays and hour. Like we have to analyze that in which month there is more riders by member user and casual user, and the which hour of the day is has a more rush either by member user or casual user, and the which weekday has more riders either by member user and casual user. This is all the analysis that we have to do in this task. So let's start our task. Today we are discussing about the analysis phase of cyclistic bike share analysis. In this phase, we are using the same data set of cyclistic bike that we can make in our prepare phase and also use in the process phase for data cleaning. You might be say the null values and dealing with null values and duplicate values. So let's start our analysis. So, firstly, in our first analysis, I wanted to know about the riders by member and casual users. Like in all of the rider IDs, how many how many member users and how many casual users. So I'm using the simple stats select statement and then count by rider ID. And then I'm using member and casual. Member and casual column is one of the most important column in our analysis because the given business statement of our cyclistic buy shade analysis, we have to see how the member and casual use cyclistic buys differently. So I'm using group by clause and then using member and casual. Now you can see the member and casual users in our dataset. By using the group by clause in the above statement, we give the data by using group of member and the casual. If we don't use this group by class, then we have a long data set. along results. Now I wanted to see the rideable types by member and casual, like which rideable type is famous. So I'm using select statement and then count ride ID as number of riders. By using count ride ID, it gives us the whole count of member and casual. Like you can see in the previous task, but this time we're using rideable type column in our analysis. And now I'm using from statement, and then our table name. I'm using in the group by class, I'm using rideable type and member and casual because we wanted to group by in both of these columns. And now when you execute this query, we can get all the number of riders, like how many riders use classic bike and they are member, and how many riders use dog bike and they are casual, and then how many use electric bike and they are member, and then same for the classic and electric bike for casual. Now I'm using the order by statement, which I'm using count ride ID into descending order. By using this, we get the result from highest to lowest. Like firstly we have classic bike, then electric bike, and then electric bike of casual, then classic bike of casual, and dog bike of casual. Our result is in the descending form. The highest number of riders is on the top, and then lowest number of riders is on the last. Now I'm using the analysis of mostly use start station by member and casual users. I'm using the select statement, and then from, usually when you can use a from into the second one and then select the column, and then after that change the columns in the select phase, then you can give a suggestion of like which columns that is being belonging into the same table we are using. Now when you use count ride ID, because we are using in a function of count, so it did not give us a suggestion. I'm using count ride ID, like in how many number of riders, and then start station name, and you can see we have a suggestion of member or casual and start station name. This is because we firstly describe our table name in the from statement. That is the reason. Now we are group by. So in the group by statement, we are group by the two columns name, start station name, and the member and the casual, which we did not use in which we use in our Slack phase. And I'm using the order by class. By using the order by class, we get our result in the order, like descending to ascending order into specific column, and in our case this specific column is a count ride ID. So now as you can see, this is the result by showing that which star station has more number of riders. And now you can see the null values in dataset. This is because that I'm using a new query file for the analysis phase. I'm not using the same file as you use in the prepare phase for removing the null values. So that is the reason there is a null value in our dataset. But if you can do by your own, you can firstly remove these null values and then start your analysis. Now I limit this value to top 10. So this result gives us the value of a top 10 star station names that have more number of riders that are using this station. Now I do the same analysis for end station name by just replacing the name of star station name with the end station name while all the other query is same. I'm renaming this title as mostly used end station by member and casual users. Then firstly I'm not limiting to top 10. I just wanted to see the whole analysis. And same column name is changed in the group by statement. And now our query is executing. And now you can see our results from descending order. I mean from highest to lowest order, like which station is more famous, and then after that in the end we have lowest famous station. Now you might say lowest used end station name. Now I am wanted to time analysis of by member and casual users. So firstly we started time analysis by member and casual users, like which starting time is more famous in the sense of month, day and hour. I'm using the count of ride ID. It gives us a whole count according to our data. And then I'm using the function of date part. By using this date part function, we can extract some specific thing in our date column. Like now we have year, month, day and hour in our data set. So firstly I'm using month. In the sense of year we don't using it because we already know that we are using the data set of January 2022 to December 2022. So we all have a data set of 2022, so we did not have to use a year function, the date part. So I'm using the date part function in the month. Firstly we write the date part function and then the part of the date that we wanted to extract. Like in the second case, we are using weekdays, and then the column of the name in which we have to extract this weekdays and then rename this by using alias like as. I'm renaming as started day. Then I'm using the same date part function for the hour. And now I'm using one of the important columns in our analysis, member and casual. Now I just make the two columns, two date part functions into a comment, and then only use a one analysis. Like firstly I'm making the comment of date part weekdays and date part hours. And just using the date part month for month analysis. And now I'm using group by statement, member and casual. By using this, we can get a result of we can result based on member and casual. And also been using date part function like month and the starting date, the group by statement, because our whole result is grouped by on member and casual, and then date part function. And then I have to use order by statement in which I wanted to order our whole data into form of descending from highest to lower based on ride ID, count of ride ID. Now query is executing and we get the result like 8 month, 9 month, and then 6 month is one of the highest rush months in which there are more number of riders, and on the right hand you can see this analysis based on member casual. Like in 6, 9 and 8 month there is more members users, are in the 6 and 8 month we have more casual users. These 1, 2 and 12 are representing the January, like 1 it is representing January, the start month, and 2 is representing February, third is representing March, and fourth is representing April, and so on. Now I wanted to use the same analysis, but this time I wanted to use the analysis on weekdays. So I'm using only date part weekday functions and then making the comment of date part month and date part hour. And in the group by statement, I'm just replacing month with weekdays, while all the other queries remain same. In our analysis journey, you can see that we are using the group by statement and in the order by statement and the select and form statement. If I utilize the whole analysis as in the normal, then in the select statement we can select all the columns that we have to use in, or all the, you might say, related functions. Like in previously we can use a count function and a date part function until now. And in the form statement we are using the table that we have to use to utilize our analysis. In the group by statement we're using all the columns that we have to group by our result. Like in our case, in this previous case, we are using member and casual and date part, weekday, starting date. By using the group by statement, our whole data is grouped by based on these columns. If we don't use the member and casual statement in our group by statement, then we have a lot of much more rows, like might be 1000, 2000 rows. But now we use a group by statement, the member and casual, we have two rows representing the member and the casual. And in the order by class, we are using order by and the count of, because we wanted to order our analysis in the form of a descending and ascending order. So we're using this order by statement by using the any of the columns that better represent our data. In our case, we are using order by in the ride ID, count of ride ID. So now I'm representing order analysis by making the date part month, the date part weekday into comment, and then changing the in the group by statement month with hour. And now this is our analysis. 24 hours of day. As you can see in the 17, 16, 18 and 15 hour, there is more member users, like there is a more rush. Now I just wanted to analyze whole the month analysis, hour analysis and weekday analysis from ending date. Before that we had analyzed this by using the starting date, but this time we are doing it by end date. Now I'm just replacing started at with the ended at in our select phase and then in the our group by phase. If you can't understand the group by statement, so it can easily be defined as we can use all the columns in the group by statement that we have to use in our select statement, but in the select statement we did not have used these functions like sum function, count function, maximum, minimum and average kind of function that we did not have to use in the group by statement to this kind of function. But if we use someone else function, like in our case we can use a date part function, so you can use this in the group by statement. Now I can see weekday analysis. By replacing starting at with ended at. Now you can execute your query and you can see in the fifth day, like fifth day representing Friday. Friday has Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, and also Saturday, Sunday. There are more number of member users than of the casual users. You can see this analysis by your own. Now I'm analyzing over analysis by using the same statement as I'm used for weekdays and month, but I'm just making the comment of month and weekdays. And just keeping the over date part statement. If you wanted to write the whole query again, you can do that, but I think I'm okay with using the copy paste of this whole repeated query and just replacing the few things. Now it is executed, and now you can see there is a rush in the 7th hour and 18, 16, 19 hour, 15 hours, 8 hour per member, and 17 hour per casual. You can just this analysis by your own, and I'm saving my query. This is all the analysis phase of our cyclistic bike share analysis, which is a Google Capstone case study. If you need any kind of a guidance, you can comment me. Thank you.